Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Insurgency video. Today we're talking about the Demolitions class. So the Demolitions class is pretty straightforward, to be honest. It's really good at attacking, really good at defending. The main benefits you have playing this class is all the access you have to the explosive weapons. So you have access to underbarrel grenade launchers, RPGs, you have mines, you also have an explosive charge. And yeah, today we'll go over how useful all of those are and how to actually use them. So one of my favorite weapons in the Demolitions class is the underbarrel grenade launcher. This is your pretty much standard 40mm grenade launcher that attaches to the bottom of the assault rifles, and it's super useful. You can use it to kill enemies that are hiding behind cover, and it's really effective at clearing out an objective. Just make sure that you're aiming a little bit high, because the zeroing on the actual iron sight for the launcher doesn't really go out that far, so aim a little bit higher than you normally think you would need to. Also keep in mind that if you're using the heavy carrier, you'll actually get 2 shots instead of 1 if you're on the Insurgents and 3 if you're on the security. The next weapon we have are the AT launchers, or anti-tank launchers. So in Insurgency Sandstorm, we don't have tanks to deal with, so these launchers are pretty much used for technicals, helicopters. That's pretty much it in terms of vehicles. But it's also really useful against infantry, kind of like the grenade launcher. You can use it to clear out a room. It has a much larger blast radius and deals a ton of damage. So you have a few different kinds when it comes to the launchers. For Insurgents, you get the normal standard RPG that doesn't really have anything special to it. It just has the iron sights and the rocket. However, you get to carry 2 rockets on you if you have a heavy carrier. You also have the option for the scoped launchers, and those are a little bit different because, yeah, they zoom in and you can see a little bit further, but they also only have 1 round, and you can't really change that even with the heavy carrier. I personally like to use just the standard ones, which are, again, the RPG for Insurgents, and then the AT4 for security, even though that one also only has 1 round, but that's just because you can't use any more on the security side, but you do get the 3 underbarrel grenade launchers, so it kind of balances out there. So the grenade launchers and the RPGs are definitely the most powerful parts of the kit, and the best ways to use them are really straightforward. Really, you want to be using them to be killing multiple enemies that are hiding behind cover or inside objective areas, and just to help clear it out, really. That's basically it. You're just blowing shit up and killing people on the way. Also, the RPG is very useful at destroying technicals. However, technicals aren't really used much in PvP because they're not really that good, to be honest with you. But also, RPGs are very, very useful against helicopters if you know how to actually aim for them. And what I mean by actually knowing how to aim for them is that the AI pilots will actually dodge your rockets if they see it coming. So the best way to actually engage helicopters is from underneath or behind it while it's hovering or flying away from you. Shooting at a helicopter while it's moving perpendicular from you is super hard, and you're rarely ever going to land the shot. Also, if you shoot from the front or the sides of the helicopter, the pilot will actually see it coming and they'll avoid the rocket and then immediately shit on you. So if you want to have any chance at shooting down a helicopter, make sure that it's flying away from you, preferably like forward, so not sideways, and then also be underneath it, shoot straight up, and you should be fine. A couple other things I wanted to address about the Demolitions kit is the explosive charges and the mines. So the explosive charges are cool. They can be really useful in certain situations if you need to clear out a room, set up ambushes, or destroying a cache. Like, you know, sometimes if you're playing defusal, you plant the bomb and you set an explosive charge on the wall or something, so if the insurgents come to defuse it, you just blow it up. But it's not super useful because, in all honesty, you can just use a grenade launcher and shoot into the objective anyway. So, I mean, unless you want to be cool and planting a bomb in a room and destroying people that way, then you can, like, I won't stop you, but it's not the most effective way. And then, speaking of ineffective, mines are very, very useless in this game, especially in PvP. Technicals aren't really ever used just because they're so vulnerable already, so people don't ever really touch them. I can't say too much about co-op because I don't play co-op, but I assume that it might be useful there just because the AI might just drive down the road and not really care. So I don't know, maybe it's useful in co-op. So yeah, that's really it when it comes to the Demolitions class. Like I said in the beginning, super straightforward, super easy. Let's go ahead and look at the loadouts. So for my demolition loadouts, I always focus on using my points for all the explosive weapons. The first thing you're going to want to grab is the heavy carrier. So for the heavy carrier, it's pretty much essential if you want to use all the explosives. On Insurgency, it gives you the 2 underbarrel grenades. It gives you 2 rockets for the RPGs, and then if you have points left over, you can also carry like 2 frag rounds. Or sorry, not frag rounds, 2 frag grenades. And on the security side, for the heavy carrier, you get 3 underbarrel grenades, and you get the 1 AT4 rocket, and you can also get 2 grenades. Next up for the rifle, I always cheap out on the rifle because the main thing I'm wanting to get is just the grenade launcher. So for security, sometimes I'll rock the M16 and just put the UGL on there. On Insurgents, I like to take the AKM, just slap the UGL underneath there. Don't put anything on it. If I have a point left over, maybe I'll spend it on like a red dot, but normally I don't. Next up, we're going for the launchers. So we have the RPG for the Insurgents, and I use the AT4 for security. I don't really use the other ones with the scopes on them. I think they're a little bit expensive, and I don't really find it particularly useful. We're fighting so close in Insurgency that the scoped launchers don't really help much. Like, it makes way more sense in something like Squad, where you're shooting at vehicles from like hundreds of meters away. Kind of pointless in Insurgency. Your points are a lot better spent on other things. Next up is grenades. If you have the points left over, I would recommend getting 2 frag grenades if you can. Yeah, you're pretty much wanting to blow everything up, so bring all the explosives that you can. If you have any points left over, feel free to use them on any cheap optics. Like I said, the red dot on my M16, it's usually only 1 point. You can bring a cheap pistol if you need it, and by cheap pistol I mean something that costs like 1 point. I normally go for no pistol or a free pistol if I can. And then on security, if you need that 1 point for the gas mask, feel free. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up the demolition class. Yeah, super straightforward, super easy. Your main job is to literally get all the explosives and hurt people. That's really it. Throw them inside really crowded rooms like objectives, and just destroy people. Use it offensively, use it defensively, just clear out rooms and just make sure nobody lives and you are doing your job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you liked this video, please go ahead, hit that like button if you liked it, hit subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.